If you dumped a week's worth of dirt on your floor, could your vacuum handle it? And by handle, I mean suck up days' worth of dirt in just one pass? This actual mountain of dirt is probably the toughest vacuum test I've ever run, a test until now I'd swear only something like a Dyson could handle. But when you see what happens when I put two vacuum competitors head to head, you may understand why there might be a new queen of vacuums in town. Meet the new Shark Cordless Power Detect Clean and Empty. It makes some pretty bold promises and shows off some new skills. It can bend in half to reach awkward places, and it's got eyes, kinda. With Detect in the name, Shark says it's able to sense dirt on the floors. So can it? It also empties itself, so you never need to get your hands dirty, and it's both a full-size cordless stick that also doubles as a smaller handheld. I'm putting it to the test here in my home. I'll try it out on day-to-day vacuuming and put it through a range of special cleaning tests, including one of the toughest tests I've ever come up with. I'll show you what it is about this vacuum kit that makes it special, then I'll wrap things up with both the pros and the cons and let you know if I think I can recommend this cordless stick vacuum for you. I would like to say thank you to Shark for sending me this vacuum so I could try it out here at home. Though the company did provide it to me at no charge, it hasn't asked for or received permission to have any input into this content, and I got to test it out as I wanted to, so you can consider these thoughts on my own. Shark doesn't come out and say it, but I think this vacuum is meant to take on high-end vacuum competitor Dyson. With a list of both helpful and interesting features and tech, Shark is trying pretty hard, but Dyson has set the bar for cordless vacuums really high, so will the Shark be able to take on the Dyson? We'll find out in my tests. Unboxing the Shark Cordless Power Detect, you'll see what may look like a lot of confusing pieces, but everything actually goes together easily, and I'll break it down for you. The stick vacuum comes with three main components. There's the handheld vacuum containing the motor and controls, Shark's unique multi-flex extension wand, and the main motorized cleaner head. You can attach the cleaner head or any of the accessories directly to the vacuum, effectively transforming the Power Detect into a portable hand vac, great for upholstery, cars, or stairs. Fully assembled, you can even stand the Shark Cordless Power Detect up by itself and it won't fall over. Like most stick or handheld vacuum hybrids, the Shark Cordless Power Detect comes with a 2-in-1 crevice and brush tool and a pet multi-tool for hand vacuuming upholstery. The pet brush is semi-stiff and the bristled brush comes off and becomes a velvety upholstery brush. Now I know I'm skipping ahead, but it's actually pretty genius and does a really good job of combing pet hair from fabrics so the vacuum can suck it up, and of getting stubborn hair off the stairs. Already, this is one of my favorite attachments pretty much ever. The vacuum's charging dock requires a bit of easy assembly. Just slide the charging post into the opening until you hear that satisfying click, then twist in the odor neutralizing puck, which is just meant to help keep musty smells down. Let's get on to a few of the key features of this vacuum, and I'll show you how they work as we go. For starters, the Shark Cordless Power Detect uses numerous sensors that can automatically trigger certain vacuum actions. Some of these you'll notice at work, while others do their job more in the background. The most obvious is the dirt detection feature, which combines smarts with lighting. With the Shark Cordless Power Detect, whenever the sensor detects dirt, not only does the info screen show a dark purple indicator, but the backlights on the floor nozzle turn dark purple too, giving a satisfying visual of what the sensors are seeing. Even the Edge Detect feature intelligently lights up the side of the vacuum at the edges. Unlike some other vacuums I've tried which say they have dirt detection, but all you're really getting is a bit of a light show, the dirt detection in the Shark Cordless Power Detect seems to actually work and work really well. And I was constantly seeing purple on dirtier areas, and then it would return to normal on tidier spaces. Let's take a look at how it works on one of my dedicated cleaning tests. I always run my vacuums through the same tests. I'll spill different things like cornmeal, oats, and cracker pieces on both carpet and hard floors to see how much the vacuum can pick up. The cleaning power and suction on this vacuum has been wildly impressive. It picked up absolutely everything and anything I could throw at it, from finer flour to bigger bits and even rollier things like rice. Its performance was equally outstanding on hard floors, carpets, and rugs. This is the type of vacuum that leaves a noticeable line of clean where it's been compared to where it's going. I even decided to try really hard to stump the Shark vacuum by emptying the entire dustbin filled with pet hair and crumbs onto the floor, then seeing what would happen. Amazingly, the Shark Cordless Power Detect was able to inhale an entire 4-inch tall pile that was a week's worth of dog hair and keep right on going. Amazing. I was convinced the performance in this test would put the Shark Cordless Power Detect on the exact same level as a Dyson vacuum, so I decided to try running this test with my Dyson V15 as well. As you can see though, the Dyson wasn't able to conquer this big mountain of dirt. It got a bit, but after a while it just ended up pushing the pile around. That's when I decided to set the Dyson down and pick up the Shark again, and much to my surprise, the Shark was able to step in and, well, wipe the floor with my Dyson. The sensor near the roller brush can also distinguish hardwood floors from carpet, which not only means the vacuum will crank up the power and suction, but the brush roller speed too. This is quite remarkable and also works incredibly well, particularly on plusher rugs. You can both hear and feel the suction kick in. And even on flatter rugs like Ruggables, the machine appears able to detect that surface and really power dust and dirt from that too. I will also give one more shout out here to Shark. I've been finding with more and more newer stick vacuums that they're unable to vacuum neither plusher nor flatter rugs without getting the rug fibers tangled up in the rollers and just shutting the whole thing down. But this device, despite its mighty suction, there was no catching or pulling of any carpet or rugs, and I was able to vacuum everywhere deeply without problems. The only other vacuums I've seen that can pull this off are generally Dyson stick vacuums. Earlier, I talked about this vacuum having a feature that helps it clean twice as effectively. Shark calls this feature Duo Clean, and to explain what it does, you have to understand how most vacuums actually work. They are really only able to pick up dirt with their roller brush when they're pushed forward. That's because the brush spins in just one direction to beat debris backwards and up into the cleaner head, where the suction inhales it. But if you look underneath the main motorized head of the Shark Cordless Power Detect, you'll find two rollers, which allow it to collect dirt while vacuuming both forward and backwards, which essentially means twice the cleaning power in every pass, which should help cut your total vacuuming time. Now, you aren't necessarily going to see this in action, and that's because the vacuum already does a pretty amazing job at inhaling everything on its forward pass, but it should mean fewer wayward crumbs. For vacuuming underneath furniture, the Shark vacuum can perform a secret flexing trick. Just press the button on the vacuum's joint to allow the bottom part of the wand to bend. In practice, this means you can push the floor nozzle under tight spots easily. This feature is incredibly effective and works well and saves you having to lean or bend or stoop. There is one thing I noticed with this vacuum, and that's if you accidentally lock the main cleaner head into its 90-degree storage position while you're using it, it will automatically shut the vacuum off. During my testing, I was constantly doing this accidentally and having to unlock and then restart the vacuum again. All right, let's get on to the last major component, and that's the auto-empty dock. Think of the dock as a vacuum of its own, suctioning the dirt from the cordless stick's onboard dustbin and sealing it away in a larger bagless dustbin protected by a HEPA filter. When the big bin on the dock is full, just press the release button to remove it, hold it over the trash can, and release the lower door to dump it out. I have to say that after using this vacuum for a few days, I was pretty shocked at the volume of overall dirt and dog hair it had inhaled from our house, which I thought was already pretty clean. If you installed the odor neutralizer, every time the auto empty sequence happens, you may get a whiff of a pleasant scent. While the neutralizer isn't overwhelmingly scented, it does have the effect of making the air around the charging dock smell a little less musty every time you go through the emptying process. The vacuum also auto-empties itself every time you put it back in the docking station, but if you don't want that to happen, you can switch the dock to quiet mode, which will shut off the auto-emptying until you re-enable it. When it comes to the battery life, I may have left that till the end, but it's nothing to sneeze at. With 70 minutes of average runtime, you might get days or even weeks of cleaning without needing a full recharge, depending on how frequently you vacuum. Overall, I have to say I've been blown away, not just by the features of this vacuum, but by its overall effectiveness. I'm going to come right out and say this vacuum could definitely be the Dyson killer that I think Shark is hoping it would be. Let's go over both the pros and the cons so you can see why this is probably my new favorite cordless vacuum. On the pro side, you're getting a lot with this package, including the auto empty and charging base, a very versatile vacuum that doubles as both a stick and a handheld, and some incredibly advanced technology. With 2-direction cleaning, it picks up more dirt in a single pass, and I love how it bends in half to make vacuuming under things easy. The carpet boost works wonders too. When it does its emptying, I appreciate the odor-reducing puck that adds a bit of freshness, and I've been shocked at the sheer amount of dirt this vacuum's been able to pick up every time I dump the bin. And with a bagless design, there's no need for extra accessories. I'm also a huge fan of the fact I can use this on any type of rugs and it's not going to jam up the rollers. It goes without saying the cleaning power of this vacuum is top notch, and I would put it up against the most powerful and expensive vacuums on the market today and say this one can beat them all. And after putting it head to head with what I think is its biggest competitor and seeing the Shark win hands down, I think this is one of the best performing vacuums ever. What are the downsides? It has been really hard to find any major faults with this device. There's nothing that came out of my testing that seems like a misstep or an error. I suppose things that might be a concern for people are the large size of the base station, which is quite tall. I also kept accidentally locking the cleaner head into its storage position and inadvertently shutting the vacuum down. The more I use the vacuum though, the less this happens, so maybe it's not so much a con as it is just something to get used to. In short, I think this is one of the best cordless stick vacuums I have tried in years, and if you're trying to decide between this one and a pricey Dyson, I can confidently say save the money on the Dyson and get this one. You're not going to be disappointed at all. The Shark Cordless Power Detect Clean and Empty system sells for about $4.99 US or $6.29 Canadian, and you can save about $70 US by getting the vacuum without the dock, but you do miss out on that convenience. And this is not the first Shark vacuum I have been really impressed by. Check out what else the company has on offer, or see what spending a lot more will get you from something like a Dyson right now.